What's up, AfterBuzzers? We are back here on Botched to talk about boobanati. We got big boobs, big areolas, and big egos, might I say. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Let it play. Let it play.
Let's get some bigger stickers now. Let's get some bigger.
So for you guys at home who don't know,
Sounds
this
like
is
we're
a
singing this.
Yeah,
I know, right?
it's a huge title. We wanted to open up on a titty song, and this came up in our YouTube search.
Flopping on the floor. Titties, flopping in the air. Titties, flopping on the pole.
Okay. Now it's getting a little much. Anyway,
Titties everywhere. Titties! Don't you just want to yell that, though?
Yeah,
you know what word I
always.
don't want to yell? Areola.
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe you just said it.
I know, but we're going to be saying it a lot.
Yes.
It came out a lot in this
It did,
episode, so we're going to be
did.
breaking it down all and more. Thank you guys so much for tuning in again this week. I'm your host, Juliet. I've missed you all, and I've missed my lovely co-panelists. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I got Abigail to my left, my beauty expert who knows all the tidbits about just beauty spas and I don't know. I feel like you know all the secrets of this world.
I try.
You try. Ooh, awesome.
And I
Nicole.
try to steal the secrets from her.
Good. Of course, the smart one on this panel. She knows. She's like, I'm going to listen, I'm going to take notes, and I'm going to move forward with them. So thank you guys again so much for being here with us. If you cannot tell, we're so excited to be breaking this down. It was a crazy episode. What were you guys'
was.
overall thoughts?
I loved it. I enjoyed it, especially the Boobanati.
Boobanati.
She was like, I mean, even though she's pretty outrageous with her boobs, I guess that's why she calls herself the Boobanati. But I was really entertained by her for some reason. So,
Was she a highlight for you?
I was entertained by how many times I rolled my eyes during this episode. They almost got stuck in the back of my head, I think. Yeah, it was entertaining. It was an entertaining episode for sure. With actually some new stuff that we haven't seen before, and also with the typical nose job.
Right, exactly. This was an interesting episode. So we have three different patients. We have Jessica, whose nose is so far right that it's wrong. We also are going to be breaking down Nina's journey, who is the Boobanati. And she also breaks down the whole sugar baby, sugar queen lifestyle, which I learned a lot about. And then finally we have Joey, who has a body of a 30-year-old and a tricep of a 80-year-old. And he was an interesting one for sure. But since we already talked a little bit about her, let's talk about Nina and her Boobanati. I'd never heard that expression before. Had you guys heard that about that?
I've never heard
Boobanati?
that expression
I think it's
either,
just
no.
big-breasted women band together.
Burn together. Yeah. And she had an interesting journey. So she basically she calls her career being a sugar. She's not a sugar baby. She used to be a sugar baby. Now she's a sugar queen. Do you guys know anything about that world? Self-titled.
Right, exactly. I've only heard the term sugar baby or sugar mama or sugar daddy. So when she said sugar queen, I was like, yeah, she had to have given herself that title.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting, but I see why. But her issue that she was having, I've never seen anything like that. I know like last week someone had a similar issue, but her areolas, I'm sorry, I have to say it, we're expanding like crazy. I've never seen areolas that size.
Okay,
know,
have
those
you
are
guys ever
huge
seen
areolas.
when you're just like whatever, we're all girls here, but like you're changing or like your friends are over and everyone's like putting on. I work at a med spa, so I feel like I just see boobs a lot. Like even though we don't do boob jobs there, like people are always like, oh, I have this scar, or can you do my areola hair removal, or like, and we're all just super comfortable with each other at work. But I see people's boobs and sometimes I'm just like, holy shit, like your areola is huge. Like it's weird to me. Like that's the weirdest thing to me about like some people have like very, very small ones and some people have like
Salami.
it looks like salami. Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what it looked
hers
like.
Would bother
Bigger,
me.
yeah.
Would that bother you guys having two different sized ones?
Absolutely.
And if her biggest concern too was she wanted her boobs bigger. I'm like, honey, you need
That's
to be
crazy.
concerned about what you're seeing when you take your shirt off.
Exactly. No, she loves them. And then in the interview, she was playing with them. She says, I want to get them bigger so I can boob twerk.
Okay.
Not butt twerk, but boob twerk.
That sound, I was embarrassed for her. She's a grown ass woman.
You never play with your boobs?
First of all, my boobs wouldn't know what another boob felt like. They've never touched in their lives. It's never gonna happen. But like her doing that whole like jiggle and like it was almost like you know when people do like the sex noise like and they squish their hands. It was gross though.
Yeah.
Which for me, I was just embarrassed of like at some point you have to look in the mirror and be like, I'm a grown individual. Like it's not cute. It might be cute when like a 19-year-old or 22-year-old does it, but when you're like, I mean, you're definitely in your late 30s to 40s.
Yeah, I think she was 38. If I'm not mistaken.
It's not cute anymore.
Yeah, and honestly, the first thing I was thinking when she did that, I was like, I'm so glad that's not my mother.
Right.
Thank God.
Right.
Yeah, she definitely had a lot of attitude for sure about her. But you know what? She stuck to her guns at least.
She owned it.
That's what I really, exactly. She owned it, and I really enjoyed that. And she even like called herself a feminist who wanted to help educate women on their rights and what they're worth, and then put a tax on that in terms of when it comes to the sugar baby, sugar daddy relationship. She's like, can we call her an advocate?
I think it depends on how you look at it, because I think at least my perspective is I view myself as like someone who's for women's equality and rights and all of those things. And I think that if you want to do like your sexuality and whatever you want to do to make money, that's totally on you. But if you're putting it out there, you need to prepare for judgment. And that's, I think, where I'm a little conflicted with her, because she's owning the fact that she's a sugar baby, but also like when you're yes, men should, men get away with so much in life. Like, why can't a woman profit off of her sexuality? I mean, you're going to give it up anyway. So it's like, what's worse? Like getting money for something or doing it for free? Like now I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah. But it just was a little concerning to me how she was just so okay with being like, yeah, I had 5 sugar daddies and I'm the wealthiest sugar baby. Honey, you're the wealthiest one that said what they're making.
Right.
Because I'm telling you $1 million, you're not the wealthiest.
Right. Definitely not the wealthiest
No.
for sure. But one of the things that she said is she wanted to teach young women to leave out of relationships with more than just, children and regrets. She's like, if you're gonna cry, you might as well cry in a Maserati. I don't know.
I mean, I guess there's a point there, but it all depends on what your goals are.
Right.
And I think, that's the overall message. Judge her if you may, but she stuck to her guns, and that's her prerogative. And I think, just to each their own. But yeah, back to her areola, since Abigail loves when I say that. Yes, one was bigger than the other, and they were expanding. So she was really, really hoping that the doctors could help her minimize those, but yet make her boobs even bigger. And her dream was 2,000 cc's. How big is 2,000 cc's?
I feel like what did that other woman have? The blonde one.
Yes.
Hers were more than that. So this Nina's already the loser.
Compared to last week, this blonde,
or 2 weeks ago, I think.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Gosh, I forget her name, but she was blonde. She was the mother who loved the extreme. If you guys haven't seen that episode yet, I really encourage you to go check it out. It was lots of fun. It wasn't last week; it was the week prior to that. And if you haven't done so, I'm gonna tell you everything that you should be doing. Go watch that. Leave a comment there. Leave a comment on this video as well. Go to our iTunes and our YouTube, because we like keeping the conversation going on both platforms. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel. AfterBuzz creates all of this content for free, and we all love that word.
Free. Yes,
for
free.
And what's really cool is that when you subscribe, you get content that's like directly aggregated to you, because if you subscribe to reality, then you're going to hear all our reality after shows, and we cover a bunch, and there's so much there, and we really urge you to just fall down the rabbit hole and leave us a comment, subscribe, and that really helps us, helps you. It's awesome. Another thing that's awesome is these areolas.
I can't. I'm just gonna
She's
start
like, I'm so
tallying.
done with that.
Over it. Bye, guys. No.
I wanted, for our audience, let's do a drinking game. Every time we say the word areola, take a shot. It's gonna be the episode's gonna be real extra fun for you guys. Anyway, so Nina goes in and to meet the doctors, and ultimately they told her she wasn't a good candidate. Were we surprised by this decision?
No.
Absolutely not.
Why is that?
I mean, it's already ridiculous, right? She's at 1,500 cc's, which is already, her skin is so stretched out. She looks like, honestly, she's kind of tipping over a little bit. And also, they said that if they were to perform the surgery, she would have to go smaller, which was not her goal. She wanted to go bigger. which is crazy. And you saw her friend Ron when she mentioned that she wanted to go bigger. He looked at her like she was insane, like she needs to go into an insane asylum or something.
Yeah, she said that she loved the attention, then big boobs always get her attention, so she was seeking more and more attention. But I feel like there's other ways to get attention. It's all about confidence. It's about how you portray yourself in the world. It doesn't have to just be physical, and more like a presence thing.
But that's how she's made a living. So she kind of, I don't know, can you reverse that? Can you go back from that?
For me, it was bothersome that the reason that she wanted the boobs so big is because she said that it helped her social media. And I was like, honey, like people are on that because you're fascinating to them because it's like you're a freak of nature. It's not because no, but seriously, that's the fascination. Like, it's not normal. Not that you have to be normal, but it's not even healthy. Look at what you did to your body. Your areola is the size of your face. Like, seriously, that's concerning to me. That that society today is more concerned about a like. I mean, I could literally go mad talking about stuff like that. You're concerned more about a like than you are about your own health or about how your kids view you or about, you know, doing the things that are going to make you the best version of yourself. You just want a like, or, you know, honestly, I wouldn't be shocked. I'm sure she has like a dirty Snapchat where people have to pay to subscribe. Like, that's the new thing now. Like, there's all of this. And so it's like I don't know. My whole thing with like morals is like hers are skewed. Okay. So skewed. She really bothered me.
Yeah. Well, you know, and again, I think her idea of the perfect body bothered the doctors as well, and ultimately, she just wasn't a good candidate, so she had to go home.
See Dr. Nassif? He couldn't really focus when was sitting in the room. So when her friend came in, they came in the room and they were just talking about her goals. Like, I noticed Dr. Nassif was just kind of like,
Do you think? What do you mean? Like, what do you think he was thinking in that moment?
Well,
her nipple is probably hanging out, to be completely honest.
But he sees those every day.
Exactly.
Yeah, but like if someone's talking and their shirt and there's like their areola just like kind of out of their dress.
Yeah, he
like,
seemed distracted, but I wasn't gonna say distracted in a disgusted way. I think he was almost fascinated. Yes, I do. Like, if you watch it again, like he looked kind of like, interesting. Like she almost kind of encouraged him to be a sugar daddy almost, because she was like, would you be a sugar daddy? He's like, maybe when I'm like 75 years old.
Maybe. I mean, it's a good retirement plan. I mean, I'm just putting it out there. Maybe. Who knows? And another theory I'm thinking is that she has been doing this, you know, living this lifestyle of the sugar life for some time now, and I wonder if, you know, because there's might be an expiration date on it. She's getting a little bit older, so it's probably what she wants to get bigger.
That.
Yeah.
Because I was just thinking, like, she's proved there's not an expiration date.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm thinking is that maybe she's seeing herself get older in other places. So she's like, okay, my boobs is what's keeping me attractive to other people, so I'm just gonna go bigger. That's my golden ticket.
Kind of like Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
She's aged, but her boobs never aged.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Dolly Parton. But yeah, that's kind of where we leave Jessica. That's where we leave Nina off. And now let's head into Jessica and talk about her story. She had a nose as she was saying, that was so far right it was wrong, and she has been waiting to get her nose fixed for over 10 years. I thought she was really sweet. What do you guys think of her?
I liked her, and I loved her husband.
Her husband was like
so supportive.
Yes,
he was fine too.
Yes, I was just gonna mention that he was very good looking. I was like, ooh.
He was big, big bodied, and as you're saying, Abigail, like on this show, sometimes we see partners who it looks like they're either pushing their partners a little to do something, or they're sticking by their side and we don't fully understand why. And he just seemed like the perfect partner, because he was saying, I don't really think she needs to do this. I never thought that she has, but I'm going to support her because it's going to help her self-confidence.
Right. See, I love that. I want a guy like him.
It was really
who's
sweet.
Not so focused on the outer appearance, but focused on the heart.
And she was so beautiful. You know? I mean, even with her nose being like, it's actually funny when we were watching it, I was like, I've seen a lot of noses like that. Like, there's a lot of botched nose jobs out there that you don't really even notice are maybe necessarily a botched nose job. You're just like, oh, they have a little skinny nose. Like,
right. Well, I don't know, because when they went a little closer, it seemed you could see
the bump and everything.
It was bumping. It was going to the other side. But it's true. It's that at the end of the day, maybe she could have gone on. And the decision to actually go through with this was a tricky one, because since her nose is kind of so messed up, she gets sick a lot, and she has her her nostrils are so open that air goes out a lot, and having this surgery, she could be more aesthetically pleasing, yet this would increase her
Yes.
breathing issues.
Yes.
What were you thinking about the decision that she made?
She was brave for, you know, continuing to go through with it, even though they told her, you know, you could have breathing problems in the future, but she stuck with her guns. You know what I mean? So I don't know, I found her to be brave to continue with it. I mean,
I was reading about the syndrome that she has, and it's actually like not that there's no narrowness to her airways. They're actually very open. It's that your body perceives it as being closed. So she can actually still breathe, but your body basically, it's not like a mental thing, but you basically feel like you can't breathe, but you actually can. There's actually no real obstruction. So while yes, I think it was way less serious than what they were kind of leading us to believe in it, because you're kind of like, oh my gosh, she's choosing beauty over being able to breathe, but it's like actually,
So it's more of a discomfort. They wasn't that severe.
It's not that she actually can't breathe, but when you have it's a very rare condition. When you have it, it's like you feel like you can't breathe, even though there's nothing obstructing your airways.
Right. It must be like, in a way, kind of like you're congested, but you aren't really. But she was just so stuck on, she's been wanting this nose for 13 years, and she's going into surgery. Yeah. And even the doctor said it themselves. Dr. Nassif was saying, you know what, I think I would do the same thing if it was her.
Yeah, he did.
The risk doesn't seem that high.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm gathering that you're saying this was maybe a little push from production to make that.
I would think so.
well, they were very convincing.
They
'cause
were.
I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so brave. But I take that back. Then it wasn't that
like,
serious.
never mind. No, I'm just kidding.
That's why we have
serious.
Abigail doing, this whole, our AfterBuzz panel is doing the research and giving you guys the answers that you've been longing for.
I'm sure they were.
So sure they were. So Jessica goes into the surgery, and it's a successful one.
It looked great.
She had been longing for a good nose, and I feel like she got the result she wanted. What do
You
you guys
guys are
think?
gonna hate me because I disagree.
You didn't like it.
I didn't like it. And
Well,
go ahead.
No. Before you get too deep into it, I have to say that after surgery, she came out and she was so swollen and so big. Is that why you didn't like it? Because you're like, whoa, she looks terrible.
No, I mean, I understand, like, immediately after she was swollen, but I think after production, they wait like 4 to 6 weeks, which I understand after a nose job, it would still be some slight, swelling. But it looked like it was pretty much settling in at that point. In my personal opinion, I like the one before. Actually, I like the one before that one, where they showed photos of her before going into her first surgery. I'm like, she's actually a cute young lady.
So
like,
you didn't like.
I did not like the results.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Interesting. I do have to say, I liked it, but I felt like it just really transformed her face. She looked like a different person.
She looked like a completely different person. Maybe that's what did it for me. I was just like, she looks unrecognizable. But at the end of the day, as long as she's confident and she loves it, that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's true. And noses are a big deal. They're a huge focal point. You have your eyes, your nose, and your lips. So,
and I also think maybe you just don't like her kind of like the shape of the nose that you know how like there's types of like ears and noses, like quintessential ones, and then obviously everyone has a little bit of a variation or whatever. I don't think she had the most appealing nose anyway, like but they are going with what her actual like shape and stuff would be. So maybe you're just picky with noses.
Maybe. And picky with noses, they kind of played around with that notion because they were saying
that was so funny.
So her first doctor who operated on her, who had the botched surgery, they never really had a clear communication of what her nose will look like. He just said, "I'm going to ask my wife." She picks out the noses.
And who says that? Maybe he was joking. Like, I can't really see like a doctor really saying that. But then again, I mean, he did really royally screw her nose up. But who says that?
Right. I think that was very strange. And I think, again, like on this show, we talk a lot about if you're going to get work done, to do your research, to figure things out. And this was a great tidbit, is that Dr. Nassif was saying himself, is that you need to have a meeting with your doctor prior to the surgery to break down exactly what's going to go down, what you're going to look like. It's not always going to be exactly how it is, but you have to have that communication is so key.
Okay, before I'm going in and having you hammer at my nose and saw it and give me 2 black eyes and all that, I want a photo of what you think I'm going to look like after.
Exactly.
I want that computer drawing.
Exactly.
I'm not saying it's never the patient's fault, because as a patient you're putting yourself obviously into the care of a physician, so it's their job to take care of you. But at some point you have to wonder, like, where's your thoughts? Where's your IQ as a person being like, I'm going under? People die from anesthesia all the time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But you're doing something. You're not just like, it's not like you're just going and getting like stitches on a cut. Like,
Yeah,
someone is hammering at your face.
Yeah.
Why is there no follow through on your part as a person?
And weren't 2 doctors supposed to be performing on her that
Yeah.
she mentioned? And
Yeah, so her
I guess-
general physician, not her, yeah, I think it was a general doctor, more of a general doctor was there. He was saying you're a plastic surgeon, so running late as in traffic, but I'm gonna get started and then he's gonna get there. So
And even if that's the case, why would you even, I don't understand even telling that to your patient. You don't even
Right.
say that. You just go, okay, we're going to take you in
right
for
yeah, I would've
surgery.
been
And if they
like,
ask, where's my doctor? Then you're like, oh, you know what? Actually, well, why don't we postpone surgery a half an hour? If he's late in traffic, how late is he really going to be?
right, exactly. I would have waited. I'm sorry. That would have made me red flag.
Or
Red
reschedule.
flag.
You
Yeah,
really that
something.
desperate for a nose? You can't wait another like week or something
Right.
for rescheduling?
there was no real conclusion to that in the
No.
sense where it's like, oh wait, did he ever show up? Maybe the other guy did the nose. Like we don't fully
Right,
know.
right,
However, I think the takeaway was that she had this feeling that something wasn't right. And a lot of these patients, as we see in the show, have this feeling
Go
like
with your
"Ooh,
gut." Right,
something's not right. But if something doesn't feel right, you go check that
You
out.
talked about that last week. Oh,
Yeah,
always go with your gut.
Always go with your gut because they might be revealing something else. But she had a great reveal, and her husband seems really happy, and he seems
Yeah.
happy that she's happy.
Right.
Yes.
Above everything. And their kids were so cute. The
Yes,
little
they
boys.
were.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
They were
they're so
perfect
cute.
family, and she was
Yeah.
saying, she was like, now I feel like I look good next to my husband, because she was very insecure, and she thought
Which
that
is
he was
sad.
yeah, that he
that
was
is sad.
more handsome than her, that she didn't deserve to hold his
Right.
hand or whatnot. And I don't know, that really broke my heart, and I'm really happy that this surgery gave her the confidence to do that.
Yes.
But if anyone like at home is feeling this way, or you could relate to her in any way, if you're in a relationship, you always have to remind yourself that this man, like in this particular instance, he married you, so he chose you, and someone
Right.
choosing to date you, like they're choosing you, so you're worthy. You know,
Right.
like don't put yourself down. There's no reason to. Crooked nose or not.
Right?
That's my
Amen,
message.
sister.
Yeah, that's my message for
Preaching
today.
over here.
Right?
So we do on Botch, apparently.
crying.
Aw.
That was so deep.
All right, so that's it for our female patients, and then let's talk about our male patient with the 30-year-old body and the 90, 80-year-old arms, because he's had so many
Yeah.
implants, and they're all in different crazy positions, and everything seems a little bit out of whack. Did he, as a person, seem a little out of whack to you guys?
He was a quirky dude.
Yeah.
Definitely a quirky dude. Let me just say, when he made that statement, you know, I have a 30-year-old body with a 90-year-old's biceps or whatever. First of all, someone lied to him about having a 30-year-old body. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. I was
You're
waiting
not
for someone else. I can't
30-year-old
always
body.
be the
I'm
one picking on
sorry.
people. Thank you. Thank you.
No, I was like, somebody lied to you, boy. Okay, no, but seriously, that whole his body, and I realized why his skin was looking like that, because he was diagnosed with cancer as well. So, what?
No,
do you
no,
believe
no,
that's
I'm
what?
gonna stop you right there.
Okay.
He had lymphoma or cancer of the
Oh.
lymph nodes. Here's my thing. If you have cancer and you fix the cancer, okay, why the hell are you tanning every day like that?
Wait, can I pause you? He was saying that he was every day when he was undergoing chemo, he did never miss an
Never.
Right.
appointment.
So he must have been like, oh, well, I'm getting chemo, so what's a little skin cancer? Like, I don't understand that.
So no remorse for him in that regard.
I don't no. He was so baked.
His skin looked like leather.
That's not healthy, and he had all the sunspots and age. It's just
Yeah.
no. And I don't understand someone who's had cancer why you would put your. I mean, so I tan, but I'm not tanning every day, and you have to follow that up with okay, I'm here, I'm using sun, like and balance it out. I don't understand him going every day to a tanning bed when you already are undergoing chemotherapy.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah,
I think has had this relationship with aesthetic for such a long
Yeah.
time. As we come to find out, he was a fat kid, and then he decided, no, I don't want this anymore, and he lost
Traumatized
he lost all the weight because he was being bullied, and then he entered this world of just like competition and beauty, and he was Mr. Massachusetts, which I have to disclose, our founder Maria Menounos was Miss Massachusetts.
Aww.
I wanted to figure out if they'd known each other. I asked Maria, but they did not, and I was like, oh my gosh, I was hoping that they did, but he was really involved in it. He became Mr. Massachusetts, as I said, and then he helped other women become part of the competition. And he actually was saying that 9 out of 10 were winning or something like that. So he's very successful as a coach.
Good track record.
But I feel like he needs some coaching of himself because he's
Some
too
self-love.
attached. Self-love.
Yes, exactly. I'm sorry, but the fat kid in him never really left.
Right.
The insecurities. It's kind of like, you can change your outer appearance, but
The
you
soul.
really need, exactly. You need to reconcile that.
Yeah, very true. And he was too attached to all these implants because what the doctors kept on saying is that you we do not do these surgeries because when it comes to male like muscle implants, they're just very unpredictable and the risks are so high, they're not worth us doing it. That's why we do not do it, plain and simple. And they are also saying, get your butt to the gym, get your butt to the gym.
Thank you. Why are you putting silicone in your arms?
Why is that such a bad thing? I mean, they talked a little bit about it. I want your opinion.
I'm just confused. Well, first of all, if you saw that when they pulled it out, it was actually an implant that they had like cut to fit his body. Like weird. Okay.
Yeah, that's
Two, like your arms, dude. I mean, I would feel like as a individual, and he's supposedly been in the gym every day of his life or whatever. Work your arms out. Like I'm just missing the connection there. I don't understand why it wasn't that simple. Like, oh, okay, and I understand he felt like he couldn't grow muscle mass because of the cancer. Well, I'm sure after chemotherapy, there's a lot on your body that's not growing.
Right.
Your hair has to grow back. Like, and they say, we've all seen, I'm sure, when people after they have chemo and their hair grows back in, the beginning of the hair that grows back in is not healthy hair. So it's like, bro, you just literally went through all these treatments, going through, all these chemicals going through your body. Of course, you're not going to be, and you never were jacked. That's where I'm confused. If you look at the photos of him, I think he's delusional a little in his mind. He never was this ripped human being with these huge biceps.
No, he wasn't.
He's always been a thin man. 150 pounds as a grown man?
Yeah.
That's a small man.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I was just, I don't know. I think he remembered how it never was. More so.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like a lot of these people trying to gain control, and I think with it, when you have cancer, you feel like you lose
it.
so much control of your body and your health and where your life is going because there's it puts everything into perspective. And I wonder that's why he got maybe even extra impulsive when it came to the tanning, extra impulsive when it came to wanting all these surgeries because he's like, okay, let me control this physique because that's
Control
one thing
your
you can do.
gym. Control going to the gym twice a day, or control. I don't know. And that's the same thing too with like the booties now. Like everyone loves a fat little booty, but like I have a friend who got her booty injected, and I was telling her, I was like, just go to the gym, girl. Like I went to the gym, like I was working on my ass, like actually by itself for 2 months straight. Like that was my focus. I was like, it grew 2 inches. That 2 inches is a lot of.
Is it? Okay.
Out 2 inches. That's a lot in 2 months. Okay.
Yeah. So if
You're
stick
going
to
and you're spending $6,000 on injections in your butt that maybe increased it by a half an inch. Go to the gym. It's way cheaper.
Yeah, for 2 inches, definitely go to the gym.
Like I just don't understand. I'm confused sometimes. I think we're just such a quick, fixed society.
Absolutely.
Oh, you want this? You want that? Like, let's do other
Instant
things.
gratification.
let's put the work in.
And honestly, we don't even know. Don't even have enough research to know what harm these things are putting in your body do. We're going to know maybe in 30 years, the first people that had fillers, like what the actual, downside. I mean, obviously some fillers are mostly hyaluronic acid.
Right.
That's fine. But silicone's not safe.
That's what she injected in her butt?
No, she didn't.
Oh.
It's a new thing called Sculptura.
Oh, yeah, I did
And
read about
it's supposed to increase by 20%.
Yeah, I actually
something.
saw in a video
Yeah.
how that was done. I was
But it
quite
takes 3
amazed.
treatments. It's like $6,000 a piece. You need at least 20 syringes total, so 10 in each cheek. I mean, I don't know.
You'd say it's probably not worth it.
No.
The thing is also,
okay.
I mean, it's worth it if you want, like, if you have cellulite or something and it
Right.
can fill in those spaces, sure, why not? But if you're working to build your butt, do a fat transfer, or you're going to need to do something different than,
right.
or if you have the money to just drop, $10,000 per session on your butt, then yeah, go ahead. I'm not anti doing it. I'm just anti-laziness.
Well, I think the thing also on top of that is when it comes to your butt, or even when it comes to Joey and his arms, these are placements that you're using your body every day. When it comes to your butt, you're
Right.
sitting down a lot, so that's
Right.
why it's a high risk. When it came to his implants, think of how much he's using his arms. He actually even had one implant that was going into his armpit, and they were saying that later down the and it's going to make things worse. He won't be able to lift. He's going to be really have a lot of trauma from this, and that's why they suggested just get rid of the implants. And he needed a time to think of it. What were at this point in the episode when he's like, I'm gonna think about it. Did you guys think he would go through with it or not?
I thought he was gonna be the one that didn't have surgery.
Me too. Yeah, same here.
Because we always talk about this. There's always someone who just goes in kind of for their little plug, or who has an outrageous request, and the doctors are just not about it. And I was actually pleasantly surprised that he slept on it, and then he was like, "Let's do it.
But
Let's
he
get
did
rid
still
of them."
keep one in.
He kept
he
one,
did.
but he got rid of most of them.
Got rid of 3. I guess 3 out of 4 is pretty good.
Right.
Progress.
And up until the end, Terry was saying, you know what, like, you're gonna look disproportionate if you just keep one in. You're sure you don't want to get rid of it. And it wasn't a flat out no. He was saying it's like building a house. I need to do little steps. I'm just gonna keep this, and then later on get rid of it. Do you think he will get rid of it later on?
I feel like that's a lot of money and time to just get rid of one. Why not
Right.
just take them all
Just
out?
take it out
I think
and
he
just live
just,
your life.
like you said, it's a control thing. He's having trouble parting with it.
Right.
By the way, how old is he? Did we get his age by any
I don't
chance?
think we did. That's not something that was disclosed. But if I'm being honest, I do think it's 30 years old.
Definitely not 30 years old.
I think
for
honestly, I
sure.
think he probably is only in his 40s, but I think he looks a lot
Really?
older.
Because of
From-
sun damage.
Based on
Because
the
of
times that they were showing us, photos and things like that of, 2011's when he had cancer. And he was still like pretty active at that point as far as, in the community of the Mr. Massachusetts stuff. So
Right. When he was a coach, and they were showing those pictures, all the girls had a 1994 thing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 60. I'm sorry.
No,
guys,
he looked very
but
old.
Yeah,
He did. He did.
Yeah, the last thing I want to touch upon him is his whole nudist stuff that we got to see. He goes to the nudist beaches and he only covers his arms. Then at the end of the episodes, gets rid of that
Yeah.
and is fully in the nude and is running on the beach with the little, what are those called? Things that were in the air. Do you guys see that?
A kite?
A kite. He was running a kite. Can you guys just let's break the third wall right now and think of all the production and crew who are following this guy on an empty beach. I don't think they had the budget to rent out a beach. I think it's cold as hell, and he's just butt naked running around, and these guys are having to film and light him.
In my opinion, I just don't think that was necessary to have that part
was
in
funny,
as the
though.
reveal. I mean, I guess it was fun. I was just like, okay, it's not that serious. You could have just showed us the arms, but you had to do this whole grand finale
Yeah.
of revealing, then running nude on the beach.
Can I
That's
be
just how
honest?
felt.
With the reveal, I was really upset.
Okay, why is that?
Because everyone that has reveals, they're surrounded by as phony as it might be, but they're with loved ones or people who supposedly care about them. And it was just really, it made me really sad because you never hear him talk about his family, or I feel like he's just a really lonely guy.
I think
and
so,
it made
too.
me really I felt bad. And I was like, maybe if he had more people around him, he wouldn't have felt the need to do that in the first. I don't know. It made me feel a
It's
little
true that
sad.
usually we always see with this big reveals, there's always some kind of support system, some family members, some friends, and yes, he was naked and alone. So that was kind of sad. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we wrap up this breakdown? No, I think that's it. I think
It was a good episode.
We covered all our bases.
It was.
We got the nudist talk, got the areola talk. So
We got it all
in.
Oh, wait, are we doing any predictions today?
We can do really quick. We're running out of time.
I'm so scared for next week's episode.
Why?
What
The
are you
guy with
scared
the
about?
ears. Did you see that?
Oh my gosh.
Tell us about it.
Yes.
The guy with the alien. He wants to look like he wants to get his eye color changed
Yeah.
next episode, and he has the alien ears that
Oh,
stick out from his hair.
so scary.
And of course, I'm always eating when I watch this. I don't know why, but I felt so sick.
Yeah, he's had a lot of stuff. He's going to be an interesting guy, and I can't wait to break him all down. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so we're not going to be able to get to...
Double special segment next week.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to get to Abigail's special segment, but don't worry, next week we'll talk so much more about that and so much more stuff. We have some alien guy with some crazy ears. We got lots and lots to discuss. So in the meantime, please keep the conversation going on both YouTube and iTunes, and if you feel up to it, go follow me on Instagram. I'm not botched, but I do have some fun stuff I share on there. They're not my areolas, but they're still cute pictures. So at Bonjour Juliet, go check me out. What about you guys?
And make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at TheRealNycole, and that's Nycole with the Y.
You guys can follow me on all my social media at Abigail_AF, and check out my podcast OGAF, and we'll see you guys next week.
Awesome, guys. Bye. See you next week. Buzz you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Botch you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.